Trying to figure out which nuts Cricket likes the most. There's a pecan there and an almond there. Let's see which one she grabs. Come on, Cricket. What? The pecan? You didn't even check the other one. She's been eating almonds for the last, like, 2 years, basically. Year and a half. But I got some pecans this week, so I put some of those out. She's been eating those. I don't know. She's been eating them just as much as she eats the almonds, but I was trying to figure out if she liked one more than the other, but it's kind of hard figuring that out with her. She'll eat a bunch until she's full, and then she'll hide the rest. And it's funny, I think that she's never going to find it, or that the mice will get it, or something else will get it. But then yesterday she was sitting over there, and I was trying to get her to drink some water. Because I figured those nuts with no water was maybe drying her out. But I figured maybe she was eating, snow. I don't know. And she looked at the water and was like, nah, I'm all set on that. And then she climbed under the porch and pulled a frozen grape that I had given her weeks ago. She pulled that out and ate that. So she does remember where she stashes everything. She has a whole stash of frozen grapes hidden. Ooh, a raisin. She likes raisins too. I put raisins out. Usually fruits and nuts. She gets raisins and nuts. She's a happy squirrel. And she doesn't get into things or dig into things. She lives in a nest in the woods a little ways away from the house. And she's really good about stuff like that. So when other squirrels come, if they start living on the house or like living in the wood pile or anything, I'll usually shoot them, which is sad. But I never shoot her, and I usually never shoot any of the ones that are mating with her if I see them mating. And she particularly doesn't like it, other squirrels. So she prefer me to get rid of them and scare them off, so she can just hang out. Because squirrels don't seem to like each other. Even when they're mating, they just fight all the time. They don't seem to like each other. But she had babies last year, so if I shoot the other squirrels that are getting into stuff and then I keep her alive, she always has enough babies to kind of replace all the squirrels every year. Right here at the cabin, at least. I don't hunt squirrels on other parts of the property, really. So she's adorable. But I have a night squirrel that's been coming, which is a flying squirrel. And it's really aggressive and always wants to come inside, and it's like only after 3 or 4 days of feeding it, it's already acting ridiculous. So I have to stop feeding it. Because every squirrel isn't like Cricket. Before Cricket, there was a squirrel named Fuzzy Nuts. And he used to come here every day and fight all the other squirrels off. But one day he died, I guess, or something got him. A hawk or something must have got him. He just stopped showing up one day. She's been coming for almost 2 full years now. In spring it will be 2 full years, and it's the first of the year. New Year's is in 2 days. So happy New Year's. Yeah, little squirrel. Little crickety. Cricket, say hi. Say hi. No, just eat your nuts. Alright, see you guys later. This is a beautiful northeast flying squirrel. It's eating some peanut butter. I gave him some peanut butter and raisins. Hey, little guy. They're so fluffy like a chinchilla. And he just climbed up the tree and then jumped and flew all the way down here just to show me how good he could fly. He's so funny. He's been coming around for like a week now. He loves peanut butter. He likes the raisins too, but he really likes the peanut butter. Some good stuff. Squirrely nuts. It's weird. They're like, not like the squirrel. During the day I have squirrels that come around too. But this guy is like not like a squirrel. He has big black beady eyes. He kind of reminds me of those little tree monkeys. Whoa. It's so cold though. It's about 10 degrees out here. Fahrenheit. So that peanut butter froze to that thing pretty quick probably. You need some water? Wash that down with or what? They are adorable. They're so fluffy, and when they fly they look so cute. Oh, he's trying to take the spoon with him. You take that with you? To the nest? I have a squirrel house, and he's the first squirrel to get in it. He got in it the other night, but he hasn't built anything in there, so I'm hoping he'll move into there. The little squirrel box I made. And when I shine the light on him, though, he has a hard time seeing because he usually sees in the pitch dark. So the light kind of messes up his eyes. So we'll let him eat his peanut butter. It's all grainy anyways. Well, it's December 29th, and it's 42 degrees, but it's going to be 50 tomorrow, which is insane. Not good. But I'm out here in the yard. I'm cutting down these few trees that were blocking out all the fruit trees. This is a couple of those black cherries, so I cut them down, and then I put sealant on the top of the tree, and then these will sprout and be much shorter trees. These do produce a berry, so I don't want to cut them out completely, but these are the plum trees, and they were getting blocked out right in the peak of summer from these two trees. So those are gone, and then these are all those Canadian cherries, or whatever they are, some sort of bush cherry. So they should stay nice and short, so they won't block out these trees. These trees will stay just higher than them, and then we'll have a row of plums and then a bunch of cherries right there. Should be pretty nice. I cut another tree over there too because it was blocking the sun out from that apple tree. But this one big tree, which it's the only poplar I have in the yard, and I like it, and the grouse like the buds, they eat them. But it blocks out way too much sun from the gardens. So it's a huge tree. You can see it's usually the first one to get leaves every year and the last one to lose them. And I really love the tree. It's one of my favorite trees in the yard. It's actually the biggest tree in the yard. So it sucks to have to cut it down, but it's really light wood too. The wood's not really that great for very much, at least not what I do. I think it's good for like building stuff, toys and like shelving and stuff like that, but it's kind of soft. It doesn't really burn that well. They use it for pulp up here in Maine. They make paper out of it, toilet paper and stuff. But I'm going to cut it up, and I'm going to cut it up into firewood, but it's not very great. It just burns really fast, but it does work kind of good for, you know, starting it up. And on days when it's not super cold, it's a good wood to burn then. It's not really good in the really cold temperatures, but when it's not that cold, since I have a small cabin, you can burn some of that and it won't burn so hot. But yeah, I'm just cleaning it all up, turning what's big enough into firewood, and the rest of it's going into the fire pit pile over there. So I just gotta clean all this up, but still got 2 hours of sunlight. Still using the electric chainsaw, and it actually was running really good today. So I don't know. It's weird. Some days the brake just keeps on triggering over and over again, and it's super annoying, and then some days it runs fine. And I haven't ran it for like 2 months, and it just ran fine when I started it up today. So yep, I never know with that. I gotta thin out some of these maple trees too. Just leave the big center tree and thin out the other stuff, because we're gonna have some blueberries and grass and stuff growing through here. Maybe put some animals over here. This might be a good place for a pig. I don't know. I'm trying to figure this all out. It's looking nice out here. Usually I'd be hiding in the cabin at this time of year. It makes no sense that it's gonna be 50 degrees tomorrow. I don't think it's ever been that warm at this time of year ever in my lifetime. So that's crazy, and all the snow's gonna melt, and it's gonna melt before spring, which means it's probably gonna be dry again next year, which my well went dry this year, and I had to buy water the last like 3 months. So that's a pain in the butt. So I'm actually gonna go down there later today, and maybe tomorrow. It's getting late now, but like I'm gonna go down there and check it out. There should be water in there now. So I bought water last week, but I think I'm gonna be done for at least until next August. I should have water down there. I should have cleaned that bin out, or pulled it out when there was no water in there. I meant to do that and I totally forgot. So I'm gonna have to bleach it, and then I'll just have to shovel all the water out of there with a bucket and let it fill back up tomorrow, and hopefully it'll be good and ready. Yep, back to cutting firewood. It's gonna be warm like this. I'm gonna get all my firewood done a couple months early. So that's what I'll be doing the next couple weeks. Okay, it's December 31st, which means it's New Year's. I just moved the chicken coop, but that's not where it's gonna stay. It's just gonna stay there for the rest of the winter. But it's 45 degrees or 46 degrees out today, and I'm having a bonfire. And yes, 46 degrees is ridiculous. Yesterday it was 50 degrees, which I think was an all-time high for here, where we are in northern Maine. And we had a nice coat of snow 2 days ago, but it's all gone. And yeah, it's been almost 50 degrees for 2 days straight, which is crazy because the coldest time of the year in Maine is usually in January and February. So it doesn't make any sense. It's gonna get back down to 18 degrees during the day in another 2 or 3 days, and like 7-degree temperatures at night. But we'll see. I don't know. We haven't even had below -10 degrees Fahrenheit, which usually nighttime temperatures in January and February are pretty close to -10, and we haven't even hit -10 yet. So I don't know. We'll see. It's been a pretty warm year. But it's New Year's, having a New Year's bonfire. Might call the neighbor and see if he wants to come over. And I'm cutting some trees. I got a cherry tree that was blocking out all the hasp caps, and it's definitely the tree that was blocking the most sun. It was just a really old cherry tree, so I didn't want to cut it. But it has really nice wood. Cherry tree has really nice red wood, but it's not really big enough to be useful for anything until it's about 25 years old. And that was like a 35-year-old tree. But my neighbor makes these nice wooden bowls, so I'm gonna cut him up some slabs and some pieces of that cherry wood and bring it over to him, give it to him. He seems to like doing that, and you know, anytime he can get really good high quality wood, he wants it, so that cherry wood's good for that. I'll probably go online too and see if people are buying cherry wood, because I have 3 or 4 of those trees around the property that are getting old and to the point where they need to come down. But I took that one down. I'm debating on this one. I think this is where the coop's gonna go next year. I'm gonna fence it in under these pine trees, which predators can sit in the pine trees, but I'm planning on putting a bunch of fencing over the whole top, and I can use the pine trees to tie it off, because I want to make like a dome cage for them. So when they're in that caged area, they're completely safe. So when I go to town, they're fine. And then I'm gonna make another big fenced in area around it, so when I'm home in the morning, I can let them out, but not let them completely out. Because fencing off all the gardens and everything is too much hassle. So it's just much better and safer for the chickens to just be in a coop. They're a lot healthier when they're roaming around because they're eating grass and bugs all day. But I don't know, maybe like when I'm home, I'll let them out in the yard, you know, to roam around for a couple hours, and then I'll just scoot them all back into the coop. Or maybe right before bed sometimes I'll let them out. That way they'll get back into the coop quickly. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna get 25 chickens next year though, and I think I'm gonna get babies this time. So unless my neighbor wants to do some more for me, but they're so expensive right now that it's probably better if I just do 25 babies myself, and then hopefully I'll end up with 20 chickens out of them. But yeah, happy New Year's. New Year's Eve today. I got this maple tree right here too, and that blocked out a lot of the sun for the hasp caps. And I didn't think it was gonna be a problem because the hasp caps can grow in shade, but I think it was too much shade. But I don't know, that tree has really nice changeover, so I don't really want to take it down, but it would make some good firewood, so I could just make it into firewood. It's like, I want to have trees in the yard, but when you garden, when you do a lot of gardening and grow a lot of stuff, it's really hard because, you know, the trees are always blocking out huge areas in the middle of the day, and those areas you can't really garden in, so you end up cutting everything down and having an open field, which doesn't look very nice, but it's more practical for gardening. But yeah, still out here, going on 6 years. It'll be 6 full years actually in April. So going on year 7 soon, but it's been 5 years straight since I've been here, and it's been 6 years since I first started working on the property, 2019. Times go by real quick. I know it's 5 years. I don't know, maybe it's 5 years in April. I'll have to look that up. It was April of 2019. So yeah, April of 2025 would be 6 years. Yeah, 6 years. 6 years in that little cabin, all solar powered. Pretty interesting, but I do wish I had a flushing toilet and a regular shower now. After 5 years, I would like to just be able to take a shower whenever I want, not have to
do everything I have to do and pump it and everything. The pump's not so bad, but just having to like bring the sled in and get water and do everything, it'd be nice if I had a tank. So I need to figure that out. I need to figure out when I'm going to get money, or maybe take a loan or something, because I really need to build another building that has a couple bedrooms in it and a little bit bigger of a space, and then a shower and a toilet with a septic. And then I'd really be really happy up here. But yeah, I'm just still working on the orchard in the yard now though. But I need to start getting some money together so I can start working on a new living situation, because after 5 years I'm ready to revamp this cabin and rent it out, or keep it for my family and then move out back further out in the property. Well, it's gonna be a nice fire. It's ripping now. It took a while because it's all green brush and I didn't really have any dry stuff. It rained the last 2 days, so I didn't have any dry stuff to put on there. So I was moving it around and messing with it for like 2 hours. So after the box burned up, I put under it. It wasn't burning very well. It took a long time to get it going, but now it's going. You can see a chasm in there. Really hot one. I'm gonna start pushing everything into the middle, and then once I have a nice bed of coals, I have a pile of brush over there I can keep it going with. All my brush piles are staged out, so that one over there is dry. Oh yeah, Uncle Dave from DEECEE's Adventures. Here we go on another year. Tomorrow will be 2025. Well, sun's going down. It's actually already set, or it's just setting. Fire's burning down. Burnt all that brush today. One of my neighbors came over and hung out for a while. And I chopped down this cherry tree that was blocking out the has caps, and I cut it up into pieces, and I gave it to one of the neighbors that lives down the road, because he makes bowls. He turns wood and makes bowls and stuff like that. So that cherry wood is really nice red color, so I knew he'd like that. So I chopped it up into some pieces he could carry and deal with, and sent it off with him. But he's also looking for some maple, which is what I cut firewood. So I was like, oh, well, I can cut you some maple chunks. I'll pull some nice pieces out for him when I'm cutting firewood. So yeah, just hanging out. Pretty nice Christmas Eve so far. Weather's been crazy, but it's starting to get cold now. It's probably about 38 degrees. It should be freezing, but it warmed up the last 2 days. But it looks like tomorrow it's going to be in the 30s, low 30s, and then it's going to get back into single digits. So I don't know what was up with this weird heat wave at the end of December. That's weird in northern Maine. That's weird. But it's weird to have the whole yard open, like I'm doing spring cleaning basically at the end of December, which is very weird in Maine. There should be like 3 feet of snow here right now. But I got some firewood cut up for this next winter, and got some trees down that were blocking the gardens. So I'm pretty psyched. Now it's got this big, massive fire going, which is nice because it's cold out. So this fire is really nice. It feels good. I used to sit by a fire a lot more. Haven't been doing it as much lately. Yeah, I gotta get back into enjoying the property like that. You know, I've just been working on things, and I'm always just trying to make money and like make things work on the property, that I'm just like not really camping or doing any of the stuff I used to do. Which is actually that's what made my channel, that's what I used to do on the channel, which used to do well. And now I've just been doing this off-grid homesteading thing. But yeah, I need to make a series this fall and this spring and this summer, and try to put a actual camping series together. And that might be nice for my morale too, to just like do some camping projects and videos around the property. I have a place down by the brook that I want to build like a shanty shack, and then I also want to get like some walkways and stuff cleared down there, so eventually I can build I want to build an actual cabin down on the brook here, a small one, but big enough that a fisherman could rent it for the day and go fishing and stuff, and sleep in there and go hunting, and you know, nothing big, probably a 12 by 12 or something like that. Yeah, crazy winter. It's a nice fire though, feels good, but I actually have to go process some wood before it gets cold tonight. I don't have any kindling, so I gotta go make some of that.